Here we go. 3 habits to become mentally strong. Um, when it comes to habits, it's broken down to an action. So a habit is actually an action. So when we need to look into that action or into that habit, we need to look into what created that action to build that and develop that habit. And I came to a realization that um, the habit of becoming, or the habits that I do to become mentally strong, coming from knowing 3 things. One, it's related to what happens in the world. 2, it's related to what happens to my in my environment, like the people around me. And 3, what happens inside me. So what happens in the world is events, and 99.999% of the time I don't have control of those events. So instead of making the event takes a toll on me, I just look into the event as it's an event. Like, for example, the World War One, the World War Two, the tsunamis, earthquakes, hurricanes, etc. Those events, you don't necessarily have a control over them, and instead of looking into them and taking a bias, yeah, just it's an event, and look into it from that perspective. One of the books, or one of the people who helped me finding that sweet spot, I would say, um, Nassim Taleb, from his book Anti-Fragile. So this is what's related to the world events, and knowing that opinions of others are actually not personal. This is psychology 101. So whatever opinion of whomever around me, people around me, is not personal. It's not me. It's their perception of how they perceive me, or how they perceive my actions, or how they perceive whatever happens in their lives, and is 100% not me. So I have to look. That drives me to the third point, which knowing that I have to look into myself from a different perspective, aka detach myself from myself and look into that action, or into that decision, or into that feeling from a different perspective, rather than taking everything to the core and just doing an action or building a habit based on that. So once I came to these 3 realizations, the habit I built is I always detach myself from the event, from the opinion, from the decision I'm making. I always look into things prospectively. And 3, I start breaking down what matters the most to me, and then I build up. So these are the habits that helps me to become mentally strong.